Can I just say I wasn't dating my family member?
Didn't Red say that he's gonna do a compilation of us trying to synchronize at some point? I'm looking forward to that video.
Go in there. I look forward to seeing it.
I'm excited. Well, on that note, welcome to another episode of the Blue Banana Podcast. With me today, I have the Blue Banana Sophie and the slightly taller Yellow Banana Liam.
Slightly.
Just slightly.
Yeah, it's Sophie, you're what, like 140 and I'm like 142?
I thought I was 137.
I think Sophie's 130 and you're 150. That's my headcanon.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's part of the timeline now, the Blue Banana
Wait,
timeline.
centimeter difference between us.
It's pretty massive. It's a gaping chasm of height between the two of us. And it would be even more with Manu as well. Because I would be the middle banana.
I mean, for Japan, I'm a fucking giant. And for Europe, I'm like just average, I think. It's also terrible because I feel all my European friends, they're all like 188, 190, 193. So even though I'm not that small, like whenever I'm going out with friends,
it's like
I just
an NBA player.
I feel tiny. So all my life, even though it was like never that terrible, I've kind of felt small just because of my friend group. And then coming to Japan, it scratches all your inferiority complexes.
I am a king!
You stand in the train and you're like, I'm looking down on you.
Bow before your Konig.
Kind of. That's how it goes. Speaking of which, I was actually driving through Shibuya the other day, and there was a giant advertisement on one of the big billboards for One Piece film Red. And it's cool because like in Shibuya on the big square, like where the famous crossing is, there's like a ton of like advertisement almost for like new anime, new manga series.
Yeah, it's like Times Square for weebs.
Basically, that's what it is. And there's a big Starbucks that's really good because it has like a cool view onto like the crossing. Nice. I can recommend that. Also, quick fun fact about Film Red. I did a really cool, really smart Twitter post today. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Yes, I restrained myself from replying because I thought, no, he suffered enough.
Oh really? I haven't seen it.
All right, I'll reiterate it for you, Sophie.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about it. So I woke up today and I was like, oh, it's July. And I remember booking tickets for the new One Piece movie in advance. And I was like looking at the tickets and I was like, it said 0708, and I was like, I know it was 0807, so I was like, 8th of July, dude, next week I can see the movie. So I was so excited, I put it on Twitter, and then I got a bunch of like very mixed responses, because responses were like, oh, awesome, it's gonna be, oh, I can't believe in Japan it's out that early, and a few people were like, are you sure about it? Are you sure about the date?
Yeah, because your tweet was like, my body is so ready for Film Red next week, guys.
I think some people were just thinking I got like a month early screening or something for the movie.
I was like, oh, did he get into some sort of like super secret premiere?
Manu's made it.
How dare he?
It's embarrassing how often this happens to me in Japan because I'm not sure if America has the same thing.
The date system is, I hate it. I hate it so much.
I hate it as well. It just doesn't make any sense.
Just do
it. Is it the same in Australia?
Australia
we go day, month, year. Yeah.
Day, month, year.
As it should be.
Yeah.
As it should be, yes.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, look, at the end of the day, I don't actually even care which one we adopt globally, but let's just adopt one globally. Like, why is there a difference?
Can we all agree that month, day, year is
makes
the one
no
that makes
sense.
no sense at all?
It makes no
sense. Yes.
And I can't get used to it because I've collectively, accumulatively, I've lived in Japan over 2 years now. It happens to me every time. And so I had this realization, like, oh, yeah, actually the movie comes out in August. Whoops. And then I was sad and embarrassed at the same time. Great combination. But what I actually wanted to get at with the Shibuya thing is I actually did a video about like going to a bunch of One Piece stores in Shibuya because it's like kind of like next to Akihabara.
It was a good video.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was fun.
You got some pretty impressive swag, if I recall.
Thank you. I did. It was very important. It was a very expensive jacket that I could not afford. I might come back for it at some point if it's still there. But yeah, like in case you're wondering, it was like a really cool Ace. There was a Luffy and an Ace jacket that had like a lot of drip, but was like $2,000 or something.
Whoa.
At that point, you just frame it.
Yeah, at that point, you never
don't wear it.
Because,
Yeah,
my
you
God, you lose the value.
That's kind of a shame though. Like if I buy it, I should wear it, right?
Do you remember what store it was in? I want to see this jacket.
Oh yeah, Magnet by Shibuya 109. online. And like it was like the floor under the official One Piece store. But they have a lot of pop-up stores, so it might have been that.
That's a lot of money for a jacket.
$2,000, yeah.
I would want a whole wardrobe of jackets.
And then claim it.
And then give it away as a prize.
No.
Oh, can I make an application? I would like to win said prize.
I'm gonna give this jacket away to everyone who participates in the Blue Banana podcast. One person will have the chance to win it. It's gonna be an unbiased random process.
That's like the Mr. Beast formula for success, though. It's like, not only did I spend an arse ton of money on this really cool thing, but one of you is getting the cool thing because I, Manu, am completely selfless and I just make videos for the love of it, not because I wanted that jacket to write off on tax.
I don't want it to write off on tax. I want to wear an expensive drip One Piece jacket.
You'll still get to wear it, and you can sell that as part of the contest. Worn by Manu. Authentic sense.
You could sign it as well, and then it would have even greater value, Manu.
Or less value after signing it.
You defaced the $2,000 jacket.
Smells weird.
Yeah.
That's authentic. Authentic. Jizzed on by Manu.
I went on a jog for 2 hours and did not shower before I wore the jacket.
I have another really interesting anecdote from yesterday because, so in case you're wondering why I look like this, like I just literally like ran a marathon, it's because here in Japan, even though I have the aircon blasting on, it's 42 degrees today outside, whatever the fuck that is in Fahrenheit.
Lots.
Very, very high.
It's 108 Fahrenheit. So it's warm. And then you have the humidity, so it's even warmer. So even though I have the aircon blasting on, it's really warm in here. So yesterday evening, here in Japan, it doesn't cool down at night at all, other than like Europe, where it like gets cool by 10 degrees or something in the evening. So it was still like 35 yesterday night. And I thought it would be a fantastic idea to go for a run to like one of the public baths because they have like an ice bath and a sauna. And I was like, ice bath sounds great.
Yeah. Every morning.
It doesn't work anymore. Like I put ice cubes in my ice bath and it just becomes pleasant, which is not the point. It's like a nice 20 degrees. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna run there and take the train or the bus back. I came there, went into the sauna, went into the ice bath, felt fantastic afterwards, went out and realized I had not brought like my flip-flops, but just my running shoes. And I did not bring a fresh t-shirt. So
Tell me you didn't take public transport back. At that point, you need to run back home. You can't subject people to that.
I did.
Oh.
I was like this. Have you ever taken a fresh shower and then put back on, and then put back on like a sweaty, like you're sweaty, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I needed another shower when I came home.
Very impolite.
At that point, you'd redo the trip, I think. Go back, run back, and then do it the right way around.
People like you are the reason why we're not allowed in certain stores in Japan.
Rightly so. Rightly so.
Filthy Westerners don't understand basic hygiene.
No, right now there's not enough foreigners, so I try to like be extra annoying so Japanese people don't forget how bad it is.
That's the reason why Liam and I can't visit Japan, because they're like, you know what, it's actually kind of nice not having tourists.
Yeah, we made a mistake with this guy. We're not doing that again. No more.
Whoopsie. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you in general about merchandise and stuff like that, because I do know that while I am literally going to Shibuya and doing that video was like the first time where I actually immersed myself into the world of merchandise. Like before that, I barely owned anything except like mangas, like physical mangas, or like I have like a small
Oh, that you dropped. Oh, that breaks my heart.
It's Zoro. He's fine. He got this.
Nothing happened.
The Zoro figurine, that was actually a gift. Before that, I just had no real interest in merchandise, and ever since that has started to change rapidly, but I'm still very much in my early phases of it. So I know both of you are a lot more into gadgets and everything. So I thought it might be a fun topic today.
Yeah, I'd love
to
to
learn
show
from
off
you
my
guys.
one-piece gadgets.
My one-piece gadget. I am wearing a one-piece gadget right now, actually. Don't know if you guys can see.
It's a hoodie device.
But yes, I got a Laboon.
Dude, that's so cute.
Oh, with the eyes. That is so cute.
Dude, it's really cute. Is it a onesie or just a jacket?
No, this is a jacket. It's a funny story. So there's another Australian One Piece YouTuber, Dawn, who gifted this to me because she bought this when she was in Japan, I think. Well, obviously before the lockdown, must have been quite a few years ago, and it doesn't fit her. properly. So she gave it to me because, as we've established, I'm quite small. But this is my first time wearing it. I actually think maybe it was a children's size because it sort of just fits me.
Only just.
Most clothes that I wear, usually I have to fold up because they never fit me lengthwise, but this thing just fits me and it's a size medium. So I don't know whether it's because Japan just has really small sizing, sort of like how you're just huge in Japan.
That is absolutely the case. I think it's probably adult size because clothes here are tiny. Like I barely can buy anything fashion-wise in Japan. Like shoes, impossible.
I imagine that must be the case because it reminded me of when I went to Korea, and even though I was born there, I was no. I went to Korea and I was a size, I think I was like a large, or like it was like medium would be just a bit smaller on me, or I was a large in Korea, and I was like, I'm never a large in Australia unless I choose to buy something that's, you know, baggy because I prefer that style.
Something you can hide under.
I was like, oh, this is strange. And so it makes sense that a medium just fits me because people in Asia just, I don't know, their sizing is just so wildly different than it is in the West. And I suppose that's really crazy when you think about what it must be like if you're going from the US to Asia, because US sizing is also really bizarre. They start at
in the
zero.
other direction.
They start at 0, that I'm a size 0 in US and maybe at most a size 2. And I'm like, I was thinking about this. What do men's sizing also start from 0?
In the United States, I cannot tell you.
I'm not sure if it starts from 0 itself.
Men's sizing in Australia is literally just small, medium, large, extra large, like no numbers.
Surely there are. No, sometimes you can get numbers, can't you?
Sure, those correspond to something, but whenever you're shopping, it only ever shows you like the letter on the back of the shirt. Pants, we have sizing. Those are like measured by
like
waist.
42, whatever.
42? Oh, you have a tiny waist compared to me, who's like shops in the 90s.
No,
I'm
it
so
can't
bad.
be.
I'm so bad with sizes. There's also so many, like, I get so confused with like different size charts in like different countries.
Even within the same country, different manufacturers also have differences as well, so you can only use it as a vague guide. Sometimes I'm a medium, sometimes I'm a large, sometimes I'm an extra large. It depends entirely on who makes the shirt.
It bothers me so much. That bothers me so much because I'm someone who doesn't like going shopping, and I especially don't like trying things on. I will usually eyeball a lot of my clothing, or I'll do those hacks where you know when you can measure like your waist by wrapping it around your neck. Have you heard that before?
No.
So your waist, the size of your waist or the circumference of your waist is like similar to your neck. So if you just wrap the pants around your neck, you can, I don't know if it works for guys, it works for women.
Sounds like an autoerotic asphyxiation.
I want to.
We had to bring it in somehow.
It's like when you choke yourself on the heater, you can figure out what your waist size is. Looking for someone to measure my waist.
It directly correlates with pleasure.
Yeah, the length that you can come on like a 30 centimeter ruler dictates the length of your waist.
Yeah, dude, I measure my waist every fucking day just to
Twice
see if it's
a day,
still the same.
just to see, you know? Things can change during the day, you know, if you water load or something.
By the way, I just said, because I was reminded by Sophie telling me like how she's always small and like how sometimes the clothes are too big. I found this picture.
I just saw that picture, yes.
That is honestly me. Actually, you know what? There is a one-piece shirt that I do own, and I think it was the first one-piece shirt that I it must not be the first, but it was one of the first ones that I bought after I started my channel. I saw it online, and it was during lockdown where we couldn't go out shopping or like very frequently, or there was rules on when we could go out, and none of the stores in my area had it. And then I finally found one store where I could buy it in store, and the only size they had left was XXL.
Is that your sleeping shirt now?
It's like a tent on you. Wow.
And so it honestly does. I can wear it like a dress. It's just the nightie at that stage. So comfortable. But I had to get it. It's really cool. It's got all the Straw Hats bounties on it, except for Jinbei because, I don't know, they haven't updated their Straw Hat list, obviously.
Of course they haven't. Dude, that's so cool. Actually, let me ask you this because I'm really curious. So, what's your most expensive piece of, it doesn't have to be one piece, like anime merchandise, and what's your most unique, I guess, piece of anime merchandise you have?
Well, I have answers to both of those. fairly easy ones, I
I
think.
think they also probably mix up together, don't you? Wouldn't you say?
Kind of. I would like to present to you my top 3 strangest pieces of anime merchandise, and both of those questions will be answered. In number 3, we have one of my favorites, which is Dressrosa Monopoly, which is a game that Sophie and I are desperate to play, I think, but our third wheel doesn't really want to get involved with Monopoly. Is that
Because
how it is?
I'll
or is
join you
even-
guys.
Breaks
Yeah.
friendship.
It does. It will destroy this podcast, but we should do
We
it.
should play it.
Absolutely. It's a bit weird because instead of like buying properties, you buy the characters and you like rent the characters out. The way I
So
describe
human
it is
trafficking.
that, yeah, you're basically building your Dressrosa brothel, your dream Dressrosa brothel, and just whoring all of your characters out. You can mortgage the characters as well, like literally mortgage them.
They should have made it with like Salbodi instead.
Or just like the One Piece world as a whole, where you buy the islands. But like, yeah.
No, that would be too easy.
So that's kind of strange. Number 2, Manu. I'm so glad that you showed your Zoro figure because now I'd like to show mine. This is my most expensive piece of anime merch. It is a life-size Zoro. And I was only able to bring the head because the rest of the body is very difficult to move.
Your Zoro statue is really cool,
I don't want to say how much this cost me. Too much.
but worth it, I'd say. It now
Absolutely
replaces
worth
the
it.
Christmas at the
Yes.
Liam's house.
It is. I used it as my Christmas tree. It was pretty fantastic.
And now it's a year-long Christmas tree. So Liam didn't share how much it cost, and I won't expose him, but I will expose a part of this story. It is an expensive figure, and it also just happens that Liam broke said figure.
In several different ways. I shattered his hand, so his fingers came off, which was really awkward because it's one of the hands that was holding his sword. So I had to
Oh, no.
I had to buy like epoxy resin to glue them back on because like the typical like Warhammer glue I had lying around didn't work on resin, so I had to get this like special stuff, and that's why the video got considerably delayed when filming. But also on Zoro himself, I've broken up part of his head. I don't know if you can see this, but there's this like white patch around here where a little blade of hair is broken off. For something so massive, it is shockingly fragile, and I am paranoid as shit about it.
It bothers me that you're like holding it.
Yeah, same.
I've got to do something with it. I mean, like,
You can do the Shakespeare with it.
Yes.
yeah, alas, poor Yorick, etc.
2 sword or 3 sword?
Yes,
That is
to
the
be
question.
or not to be. That is a question.
Whether it's noble to suffer in mind.
But the thing is, like, because I have this, I try to include it in as many videos wherever possible. Because why not? I've got this disembodied Zoro head lying around that I can just go pomp, pomp. Like, the body is harder to incorporate, but yeah, sometimes I just have him hanging around in the background, just looking at viewers.
Yeah, just doesn't want to disclose that the body is, of course, in his bedroom.
You're not wrong, it's in the spare bedroom, because it's the only place that we have space for it, because my wife would destroy me if it was in the living room. Like, destroy me.
So instead, Liam wakes up every morning and goes, looking good today.
Hey.
Liam wakes up, leaves his bed with his wife, and goes into the guest bedroom to his second wife.
Snuggle.
Wait. Leave the bed? No. We stay in the Zoro room.
Yeah, and then you visit your wife.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Go to sleep. The last thing you see is Zoro. You wake up. The first thing you see is Zoro. Absolutely perfect. So, that brings us to my number 1 strangest piece of anime merchandise. Neither of you has seen this, and it is also Zoro related. It is a Zoro coloring book.
That's so cool.
What?
It's a very dodgy kind of Zoro coloring book because
Is that a sexual one?
it's not, unfortunately. I thought it might be, but it's not particularly
was
Zoro related
disappointed.
because the first character is Ace, and so it's kind of just one piece. The second character is also Ace. I think they might go in alphabetical order.
Well, if Zara was the last.
And there's quite a few Zoro, but there's like the brothers as well. I'm
cute.
pretty sure it's one of those coloring books where they just replace the cover. So like maybe there's a Luffy version and an Ace version as well. But also on the back, it has miscellaneous anime characters that have nothing to do with One Piece as well.
So they obviously did their research.
They definitely own the IPs to this.
And yeah, there's some sort of bizarre fan art as well. Like maybe that can be considered like a Gear 5th Luffy at this stage, but at the moment it's just
Oh.
very
Like a
kawaii.
chibi Luffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Gear 5th Luffy did not exist before that. I don't know why I bought this. I just saw it and thought, a Zoro coloring book. That's the kind of unique shit I would have.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be useful at some point, which it never has, because I've not featured it until now, and it's just lying around here.
Do you have anything non-One Piece related as well, Liam?
Oh no, I don't have non-One Piece related things.
Fair enough.
I do, actually. I have one thing. Hold here.
Okay. No, I don't. But I
Brings
do.
back his dog.
He brings like a life-size killer. Now
Yeah.
this one my wife does let me keep in the bedroom because he's
Exactly.
much smaller.
No comment on that. Liam is just slowly filling his entire house with like creepy life-sized anime statues.
And behold, this is from Hunter x Hunter. This is
Oh, yeah, that's
figure
nice.
of Isaac Netero doing the 100 type Guanyin Bodhisattva.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's very cool. It's pretty much the only substantial non-One Piece thing I own. And just because I thought, Netero must have.
Want Netero.
You could hang keys off it. It'd be a good key holder.
Yeah, just 100 keys.
Never lose your keys.
Are you a big figurine person, Sophie?
I am a very big figurine person. Fun story, actually. Before I even really got into One Piece and really got into a lot of different anime series, because two of my closest friends at work were really big anime fans, all we would do every lunch break is we would walk to anime stores in the city that sold like anime merch. And all we'd do every lunch break was just go on a walk, visit that same anime merch store just to find out whether they had any new stock for that one day. And so because of that, I actually really just got into figurines even before I got into the anime itself, to the point that I think I had like a Broly figure, and I still don't even, I've never really gotten into Dragon Ball. I've got a red ribbon jacket that, again, not really into Dragon Ball, but I just love the aesthetic.
I would love a red ribbon jacket.
Yeah, I don't think I can say that I have a very unique merch, but what I did do, this wasn't as charitable and as generous as Mr. Beast, but last year, you guys remember I did a charity stream,
Yeah.
and I gave away like prizes as part of that charity stream.
Yeah, I ended
That
up
was
at some of them.
because... Yeah, you did. That was because I bought an entire Ichiban Kuji pack. And how that works is anime stores buy the Ichiban Kuji pack and then they sell it as part of a raffle, right? So you can win a prize. So I was essentially doing the same thing, but I have to admit that it wasn't the only, the charity stream wasn't the only reason why I bought the Ichiban Kuji. It's because I wanted the entire Straw Hats lineup. Because the Ichiban Kuji came with, the Straw Hats lineup in, I think it's chapter 983, is it? 984, when they get to the raid.
One where Luffy's like
Yeah,
that,
exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I have that entire lineup now, and I just haven't opened it because I have a problem about opening figures. I want to have a space where I can have all of them lined up properly. And so
see.
that wasn't really the reason why I wanted it.
So you use charity as an excuse.
No, because...
I understand. I understand.
No.
Cut there.
No.
No context needed.
All right, then, yeah, I'm a terrible person. I think we've already established this.
Finally, we admit it.
So, Sophie,
Yes.
please walk us through your valued collection. What's your most expensive and most weird or outlandish anime merch you got?
So the Ichiban was definitely the most expensive because I was buying a whole set of figurines. Because it's really for people who own stores who are selling figurines of their own. That's who that Ichiban Kuji set is targeted for. Whereas I was like, with my luck, there's no way that I'm going to be able to win every single Straw Hat if I try to win this through a raffle, so I might as well just buy the entire set myself. And it comes in with a Yamato for, I suppose, Toei merch purposes. But then I suppose I'm pretty sure I think people were like, oh, Yamato, that definitely means Yamato's becoming a Straw Hat because Yamato's included in the pack of figurine that just features all the Straw Hats. So that's probably the most expensive thing that I bought just outright. The figures that I actually usually buy are from the Bandai, the Bun Presto line. And I feel like they're probably the most affordable of the figurines, which works out for me because I like to have many of them. They also have these miniature ones. They're the World Colosseum, like WCF, and they're small, very cute, which I want to get into. Yeah, the other ones, I've got like a pop one that I've been waiting for. It's Sanji in his soba mask. And I've been waiting for that since last year. I put in a deposit for it, I think early last year, and I still haven't gotten
for
it.
a pop figure?
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know why.
How much was it?
It's not like super expensive.
Aren't they like $15 each or something?
It was like 300, maybe a little bit more than that. So it's definitely on the pricier side. Like, it's one of the most expensive figurines that I've ever bought, but I decided that I must have it. Not pop as in pop.
Oh, you mean Portrait of Pirates?
Portrait of Pirates.
Right,
Yeah,
I thought you were
POP.
talking about Funko Pops, and I was like,
No, not Funko Pops. No.
That's
But
more
you know,
reasonable then.
Funko Pops do get expensive. The limited edition ones, they do become expensive.
So, fun fact, about 3 years ago, I was collecting One Piece Funko Pops because I was like, oh, One Piece, that's the thing I like. I'll buy those. And I gave up after I looked up how much Brook costs. Like, a single Brook was like $200, whereas the rest of them were like $15. And Law was also like $200 to $300.
Just because it was limited, or?
Yeah, limited.
Because that's the really frustrating thing that Funko Pop does, is they will release this whole set, but like make some of them arbitrarily, artificially rare.
Yeah.
So like the Brook was so expensive that I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of all of my Funko Pops because I am not ever spending that amount of money. Not just because it's Brooke, but on like anyone.
But especially because it's you, Brooke.
But like, I get why they do it, because you can't get, like, they can't make Luffy limited edition because there would be riots. So they choose a random character like, Brooke, because the hardcore people, only the hardcore people are going to want Brooke. So the hardcore people will pay that much money for Brooke to, you know, complete the collection.
Yeah, especially if you have all the others, I will be like on the hunt.
Yeah, so I made the mistake of buying like half of them before I looked up what they all cost, and I didn't run into any of those landmines, but as soon as I saw Brooke and Laura, I was like,
I mean, it's okay. You don't have to have all of them.
But Manu, if you have the Straw Hats, if you just don't have one, you have to have all of them.
You spoken like a true uncollector.
It's like I have almost, I think Connor called me out on this, I have almost all One Piece volumes, but there's like 2 or 3 in between that I just don't have.
No, it's like, just hearing that makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
See, I don't have the One Piece manga, and it really irks me because they don't sell the box sets. I think they're out of print or something. Again, that's another thing that I've paid for, just been waiting for them, for the manufacturing company to sell, to distribute them to the company that I bought it from, because they're just not selling the One Piece collection. And so I don't have like a collection of the One Piece manga in just a physical form. And that bothers me because then I have to go online, and I would much rather read it in physical form.
Is it that much cheaper as a box set than to like buy all the volumes individually?
Yes, it would be.
Like, how much cheaper?
Well, let's do the maths. How many books are there in like one volume? In one box set.
I think it's a bunch cheaper, honestly.
Yeah, I think it would be almost half price.
No, I think so. Not sure if it's half price, but definitely.
Or at least like 2/3 of the price or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it is significantly cheaper. I'm looking at volumes 1 to 23. There's a price of like $175.
Exactly.
If you were to buy all of those, let's do some maths here. 23 times, like, it would be at least $15 each, $12 to $15 each at Kinokuniya or something. It would be pretty much twice the price. Yeah.
$12 for a manga?
No, Australian dollars.
Oh.
Yeah.
But even then, $12 is on the cheaper side because most of them are 15. Sometimes they're like 18, and I never understood why some volumes are just more expensive than others.
It's probably,
it just makes zero sense.
I find that those volumes are the ones that are like usually least popular series, and so I imagine it's because less people will buy them, so to make a profit on them, you've got to mark them up a bit more than say One Piece, which usually like sells out of Kinokuniya on like the
but
first
what
day.
I mean is like One Piece volumes will vary depending on whether you're buying like volume whatever.
Really?
Yeah. So some One Piece volumes are cheaper than others. Slam Dunk, another manga that's out of print that I would like to own for myself. And I have the first volume, but they've just completely stopped making volume 2, and so that's another one that I've paid for, but I've been waiting since end of 2020, I think.
Sorry, what?
To send me, and every 3 months
What?
they send me an email. The company sends me an email and goes, sorry, our manufacturer has
Huh?
said that
I
there's
feel
been
like
a
you're
delay
getting
in.
scammed.
There's been delay. No, these
That's
are
what
I'm
it
buying
sounds
from
like.
legit companies. I actually did.
I swear you're legit. They're
No, I
so
actually-
This
legit.
Nigerian
I
prince
actually
promised me
bought-
volume 2 of Slam Dunk. He says it's on the way.
He says it'll be right there.
The reason why I've resorted to doing this is because they don't sell the box set of the Slam Dunk manga anymore. And the reason why I know that is because one time I couldn't go to sleep, so I was on my phone and then I was looking it up. I was looking up Slam Dunk manga volumes and then I decided, okay, maybe I'll just have to buy a second-hand version. Went onto eBay and was like, oh, there's a new collection. And they're selling it for like a few $100. And I was like, you know what, yeah, like I'll do that. And then I bought it. And then the next morning, I like went to like check it out, and then I realized that it wasn't the legitimate. It would have just been like a reprint, and so I had to email them, and be like, please refund me. Like I don't want this. this isn't. I mean, I'm sure it's just like just a branding problem or something. I don't think there would be a huge problem, but. I don't know. It still irked me that it wasn't the real copy, which is why now I'm just waiting for over a year for volume 2.
How much manga have you bought over the last 2 years that you haven't received yet?
Well, a complete box set, right?
So you've got all that money tied up in a product that has never been sent to you.
That has never been realized, but it's the
Holy
dream
hell.
that
Was
I
it
will
just
own it.
which box set was it? Because there are like 3 or 4 of them now, aren't there?
It's One Piece box set 1.
So 1 to 23.
Yeah, 1 to 23.
God.
I even have a friend who is in publishing, and I've asked her to like help me out here, and she's like, I can't get it. She's like, they're just not selling it.
At that stage, I mean, no, because it is significantly cheaper, but at that stage, I'm just like, all right, I'm just buying them individually. That's what I did at
I
one
feel
point
better
in my
as well.
life. I didn't used to own many One Piece volumes. Maybe it was like 5 or 6 years ago I decided, you know what, I've got a little bit of disposable income, and I just went on Amazon and went one by one, just selected all of them that were out at the time, and they came to me in this giant, heavy box, and it was one of the most glorious unboxings I've ever performed.
Did you film it?
No, this was long before the YouTube shit.
Liam just laughing maniacally.
He laughed.
Like surrounded by books.
That I did the same thing for Hunter x Hunter, except that actually was an expense for the channel, because Hunter x Hunter manga you cannot read for free online in any way. You've got to like pay for the volumes for the official translations, or you've got to be stuck with the kind of not so great scanlations. So did the same thing, same effect, opened up a big box of all Hunter x Hunter. Ha ha! He laughed.
He like fills himself up in the bathtub surrounded by the books.
Yeah, I bathe in the books. I have this very inky musk about me.
One Piece has a lot of volumes. I think like when I did the video with Connor, he was like, because he got sent all of them, right? So he can read through them. He's like, you can basically make a little chair out of them.
You could make a throne out of them, maybe.
That is accurate, yeah.
Do you read yours in Japanese, Manu, or is yours in English?
No, mine is Japanese, but I haven't read completely through it. Because honestly, as you would expect maybe, I didn't expect it, but you could have expected it. That One Piece has fairly unique vocabulary.
Yeah.
It's very like seafaring, politics heavy, especially Wano is in the original Japanese, like just like samurai language and stuff, and like that Edo Japan vibe.
It's all like ye olde stuff.
Hits so much harder than in English.
Well, in English it's tricky because you've got Kinemon saying stuff like, "My lord, thine dragon doth attacking thy village."
But like in English it's kind of quirky, but in Japanese, especially if you're not super fluent in it, it's kind of... It's kind of, I guess maybe that's a good comparison. It's kind of like if you're not yet, like you speak English, but like not that fluent that you can like comfortably read Shakespeare. Like even for a native speaker, I guess like Shakespeare would be like...
I mean, that was English like 400 years ago. Like it's difficult to read, yeah.
Not as a German, it's not.
Oh, okay, yep, sorry. German superiority.
Because a lot of the German that like, because you know like how English developed out of French and German.
Yeah, like sprung out of like old Germanic.
It's really interesting. A lot of it is still, like thu is basically do, like you. And so it went from like do to thu to you.
All right, I think we should get you to read some Shakespeare, Manu.
Whether it's nobler to suffer in
Shakespeare
mind.
monologues. Or better yet.
Oh, but it's porn.
Shakespearean porn.
Shakespeare, what if it was hentai?
Romeo and Juliet with tentacles.
Come, poor babe. Wow, it started out pretty hot. Come, poor babe. I have heard, but not believed, the spirits, or the dead, may walk again if such thing be. Thy mother appeared to me last night, for ne'er was dream. Really? Okay. So like a waking, to me comes a creature. Sometimes her head on one side, some another. I never saw a vessel of like sorrow, so filled and so becoming in pure white robes. Manu, what's going on? Because I'm reading it and I'm not sure.
I think that's a sex scene, what you're reading right now.
It did
Pretty
start
sure.
out that way, yeah. That's Shakespeare.
In those white
Filthy.
robes. Sounded pretty hot.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
babe.
White robes do it for me too.
I mean, he was very controversial at his time, no?
Yeah, he was. He
Yeah.
was a bit of a bad boy of media. He was like the Logan Paul of ye olde England.
That comparison kind of hurts.
Strange comparison.
Well, I mean, we don't have to do it the reverse. We don't have to call Logan Paul the Shakespeare of our time, but like
No,
in terms
yeah.
of cultural impact, it kind of is, you know?
I don't know.
guess
Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a friend of the Queen.
Logan Paul is the friend of like all sorts of celebrities.
That's true.
He just signed to WWE, I think, was on Twitter
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah,
believe,
I mean, you can think about him whatever you will, but he, like, business-wise, he's...
Yeah, he knows how to extort money from children. He is an absolute genius at that. Manu, back to merch. I have a question for you. Have you ever read one of the English or one of the German translated volumes of One Piece?
Yeah, no, I've read One Piece in English online,
As in,
though.
like, from
Like, I
a
never
volume,
owned...
from a physical book.
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
No.
I was going to ask you which experience you prefer, because the one thing I would love is if they printed English One Piece in the Japanese volume sizes, because I find it so much more satisfying to read than the like hulking English ones.
Wait, is the English one bigger?
Oh yeah, way bigger. So this is a Hunter x Hunter volume, but it's the same size as the One Piece ones.
Yeah.
Like, there's my hand.
Yeah, exactly. This is like the... Actually, I will go even further. I think in Japanese standards, like, the manga's actually almost big, almost bulky.
Really?
Because what's very common here, this is like the book. This is the book
Oh, that's
version
cute.
of Your Name. But like that's like the normal, like, I mean, there's obviously like normal big books as well, but this is like the normal like pocket size that you like a lot of people read on the train and stuff. Like this is a very common like light novel size also, which is very nice. Which is a tad smaller, like just one size smaller than the mangas.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that the English volumes were bigger than the Japanese.
Me neither.
I've got, odd volumes here and there, and I didn't really recognize. Well, I mean, I don't really have Japanese volumes. I think Liam's bringing it, so.
Just gonna show it to the camera because I showed it to you guys, but I'm not sure if it's shown.
Okay, I found a good comparison. So here is the Japanese volume of 41. Here is the English volume.
Oh yeah, it is bigger.
Like, it's a fair
Why?
bit chunkier.
Your volume of 41 looks even larger than the volume 1 that I have in English.
Really? That shouldn't
Yeah.
be right. They should all be the same.
I don't know. It seems larger than...
Sophie got scammed in multiple ways.
Where do you buy your manga with these
This
strange
one I bought.
sizes?
No, this one I bought like in store from a legit store.
Sophie just has like this like sketchy redraw from like this old dude. You're just like, oh yeah, no, this is the original.
I never actually recognized any of the characters. 'Cause I'm like, Luffy doesn't look like that.
Oh, Lofi.
Lo-fi, and Zola.
Hang on, yeah, Zolo's definitely in here. Roronoa Zolo.
Zolo.
Roronoa Zolo.
But I find holding this so much more satisfying. It is like the perfect size, even for my stupid, gigantic Western hands, than this. I find this to be like quite an awkward size to read for manga. It just feels slightly too big.
Was that part of a box set or something, Liam?
No, I bought these all individually.
I don't know. It doesn't look right. I'm going to bring my volume. I'm going to bring the one volume that I have over one day, and I'm going to compare it. It doesn't. I don't know if mine's weird, if yours are weird, but it doesn't look right.
What doesn't look right about it?
It looks too big.
Big as in height or width?
No,
Yeah,
height.
both.
Yeah, sort of
Also
both, but
with-
more height.
I mean, they are big. Maybe they just look really big compared to the Japanese one.
No, but my
tiny,
volume
Sophie.
sort of looks... Yeah, so it should... true, but my volume 1 looks like the Japanese version.
This one looks like the Japanese version too, just bigger.
I mean the same size, Liam.
How can you tell?
How can you tell? How do you know this?
That's what I'm saying.
What
Just,
is-
all right,
You
eyeball,
have nothing to base
looking
this
at it
on.
eyeball, because I've got one. I have one.
But do you have a Japanese one too?
Not a volume 1, but yes, I do have Japanese volume.
Well, I'm right. They're all the same. They are 100% all the same, standardized.
I will say
Alright.
unrelated, but I just opened this very randomly to one of my favorite panels.
Ooh, a very relevant arc.
Yeah.
Oh, indeed.
What can I find? Here's a very famous panel.
Is it boobs?
It's,
Oh.
I want to live.
Ikite.
Not quite the bathhouse scene.
I don't think there are any bathhouse scenes in this volume. It's mostly like really depressing Robin flashback.
Well, that is why Wano is by far the best arc.
I mean, any slobby does have a bath scene with Califa and Nami.
Actually, this is a fantastic post for Twitter. I will just tweet this right now. Wano bathhouse scenes.
I mean, it's had what, 2?
Wano 2. Rest of One Piece.
The latest one was very bosomy.
It was, and it was very, like, child-grabbing bosomy as well.
Yeah.
Like with Tama feeling up Nami and
Yeah.
going, wow, I hope I have giant melons one day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of nudity in there in general. I was like, everyone had like clouds before the breasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it was just like Carrot basically full nude in the background. When I read the chapter, I was kind of like, Oda is just like, either he has like a really strange fantasy there with Yamato that he's just living out. He's like, how can I spin it that this super hot girl that I drew, how can I make it that she ends up being in the man's bath at the
Sanji
end?
and Brook were definitely happy with this fantasy.
Yeah, either that or he's just trolling the entire fandom with it.
I will say Oda is not as bad with bath scenes because you mentioned the like strategically placed clouds. That's actually a lot more than several other shonen authors do. Like Black Clover bath scenes, like plural because there's a lot of them. They like have nipple clouds instead of like full on like line.
So what,
clouds.
just tiny ones, just
Pretty
to cover
much, yeah.
just
It's
the nipples.
it's kind of like the nipple gets overexposed on the page to the point where it just whites out or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's at times it's just like reading hentai.
Surprisingly, and maybe this is just me, are you aware of any like shows or like manga where it's like where it kind of is like this like adult movie kind of thing where it's not porn, but it's like you have a normal sex scene or something in there? Like I'm not really.
Oh, Berserk.
Yeah, true. That is a good point. But there's not a lot there, I feel. It's either shonen and kind of like let's censor everything or or it's tentacles. It's like one or the others.
Gantz had a fair few sex scenes in it, I think.
And Chainsaw Man has some stuff in it, I guess.
I still haven't read Chainsaw Man, but all I know about it is I keep
don't.
seeing the girl with the red hair in like foot fetish memes, and I'm like, what is this series?
Okay, I'm not aware of those memes. But like for me it was like I read the first volume and then I was like, they're making the anime. The anime looks fantastic. I want to enjoy this in anime form.
Because I was the same way. I was like, oh, I'll wait for it because I thought it was coming out sometime like near the end of last year, and then it never did. So I'm like, do I just read it?
I heard that Chainsaw Man is something that you should read.
Don't read it.
Really?
Have you seen the trailer for the anime?
It looks alright.
Yeah,
Why would you not want to watch the first season as the anime and then read? Like, that's what I'm doing.
If it's really good, then I agree with you. If it's less than good, then I don't.
Based on what we've seen from the trailer so far, I personally think it's at least worth taking the risk of
just
waiting.
waiting. Fair
It
enough.
is,
Yeah.
although I kind of fit because this time last year I was like, oh, there's going to be a Chainsaw Man anime to watch. Now I still don't know when it's actually coming. So I'm like, I could have read it by now. I could have had the experience. In fact, Chainsaw Man Part 2 is coming out. I'm behind, Manu. I'm behind.
It's okay.
And then if you have to wait
So am
for
I.
season 2 as well.
Oh, there's no waiting. Like, once season 1 is done, I'm usually like, let it rip with stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I did with Jujutsu Kaisen, yeah.
Fair enough. I think people are really confused with the tweet.
Oh, you've done it.
First, it's like, go to sleep, bro. Why do you get the drunk?
You're also wrong because the rest of One Piece has tons of bath scenes.
Does it? Oh, true.
Yeah.
Alabasta, Thriller Bark, Whole Cake Island. Nami and Carrot were in the bath with Lola, I think it was.
I'll just say you guys forced me to do it.
This is like your tweet again. This is like your Film Red tweet again, where you've just gotten your facts wrong.
It's basically incorrect.
You also spelt One Piece with a capital I, which is, I don't know, are you planning something?
Piece.
One Piece.
Pies.
Why do I get the feeling
All
that you're a
right.
bit drunk?
Okay, I'm standing by this tweet. I'll just put it that you voiced me.
Wow.
Wow.
They'll never know until in 3 weeks when this tweet is irrelevant.
Mhm. It's a great way to generate engagement, being wrong on Twitter.
Best example, like the first tweet I ever posted that got over 10,000 likes was where
Wow.
basically that was the Naruto is worse than One Piece, another like a classic.
Were you looking for it? Is that what you were planning on doing?
No, I was just very early with the she's a 10 butt meme.
Right.
Like those annoying memes that
Oh,
went
yes.
around. I was very early with that one. And so I was like, what was it? Something along the lines
What?
of she's a 10, but she thinks
Naruto's
Naruto's
better
better
than
than
One Piece.
Yeah.
I think I recall that, and I was like, Manu, stop jumping on this shit.
Yeah, and that tweet actually went kind of viral. And I was like, out of all the good stuff I post here, it's that one. Yeah, and then I'm having like 17,000
Out of
likes or
all the
something.
good stuff, whether it's factually inaccurate about One Piece, whether it's getting the date about the film wrong, that is the one that goes viral.
My Twitter feed is not exactly quality.
I
It
mean,
depends what your standards are.
is there such a thing as a quality Twitter feed?
Nope.
I don't think such a thing exists. I have to say, I've got a wholesome Twitter One Piece merch related Twitter post,
Ooh,
which is I don't know how many likes or retweets or whatever it got, but it's probably the tweet that blew up the most in my Twitter career. I saved a chopper ace. Actually, I'll bring it.
Oh, yes, I remember it.
Okay. So, Liam was actually here.
I have that one.
Do you have it? How exciting. So I have two very wholesome stories with both of these. So this one I acquired first. Liam and I, along with
I was there.
our editor Red, we went to watch a movie, I think. Or we were hanging out. And then there was a store that just is full of like crane
It
machines.
was like a crane
with,
game.
Yeah, it's a crane
arcadey
game,
sort of
like
thing.
little like mini arcade. And I saw that there was one full of little choppers. And so I think I had 3 $2 coins, which is what you needed to play the game. And I think it was on my
Nice.
last try,
Yep,
if I
it
remember
was.
correctly. It was my last coin. I was down to the last coin and I got this one and I won it. And I was so happy. I don't think I've ever been more happy.
The happiest I've ever seen you in my life, and probably the happiest you've ever seen you.
Yeah, I was elated. I think I was like jumping up and down.
You were jumping up and down, and you were like reaching heights of like this high.
What? That's massive.
Yeah. Sophie was bouncing, like literally bouncing. Yeah.
That will boost your basketball skills.
Well, that's how I get my training.
The cutest thing was that you didn't realize at first that it was a Luffy cosplay chopper. You were just so happy to have a chopper, and then afterwards you realized, oh, it's Luffy. Ah.
I was just very excited that I won something.
Yeah.
I've got extremely bad luck.
Because they had Chopper cosplaying all sorts of characters, like there were buggy choppers, law choppers, etc.
I got the Luffy chopper.
You got the Luffy one. And now I have the Ace Chopper to accompany the Luffy Chopper.
Who was found not in a crane game.
The way that I got this one, some terrible person abandoned this Ace Chopper, threw him out in the garbage.
There. And you
Yeah,
rescued
so
it?
I did. I rescued him
Ooh,
from the
what?
garbage and I gave him a wash. I put him in the washing machine.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I put him in the
Who
washing
knows
machine.
what terrible things has happened to that poor chopper.
And so now Sophie started a new foundation for rescue choppers.
For rescue choppers. The funniest thing, you know how you guys have had trouble with people like plagiarizing your content or stealing your thumbnails and stuff? The closest to
never
where I've
happens.
had the closest where I've had something like that happen is someone took the photo that I had posted about my story in rescuing Ace Chopper and then posted it as their own
Wow.
on
What the
Twitter.
fuck?
Ooh,
And
that's
it was just, it was very bizarre. I thought it was very funny. I mean, I think I just replied back and said, yeah, gotta spread the love around, and then so it was all fine. But I just thought it was a very funny, bizarre case when someone just took a photo.
pretty blatant theft, yeah.
That is despicable, I will say.
It really makes you question what kind of person does that. Just like looks for other people's experiences to pretend that it's their own. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, that is kind of sad indeed.
Unlike my boy Chopper, yeah, who is
Original.
adorable, which was bought for me by an ex-girlfriend like many, many, many years ago. The relationship didn't last, but the chopper did. So, One Piece, stronger than all forms of human
Really?
relationships.
I got my chopper also from a family member actually as a present.
Can I just say I wasn't dating my family member? Like the way you said that was. I also got chopper from a
also
family member.
I'm just assuming, Liam, it's Australia, right?
That's how you do it down under. Yeah, my cousin and I don't talk anymore.
Getting banged by your uncle somewhere in the dirt, in the bush.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, is that not what Australia is like? It's like my world view is scattered. It's like in shambles.
Just a bunch of
kidding.
rednecks.
It's probably not going to be quite what you expect when you visit, but we'll try to organize something similar for you.
Yeah.
We'll ask
We'll ask Liam's
around.
cousin.
We'll fly in Manu's German uncle and give him like a Australia 101.
We'll teach you how it's done.
Here are some thongs. I do want to clarify that thongs are slippers in Australia.
Yeah, like sandals sort of
Sandals. We
Yeah.
call them thongs.
thing. Thongs.
I learned the other day that you have a really funny word for fanny packs.
Oh, bum bag.
Bum bag, yeah. That's funny.
Which I think is very similar to fanny pack.
That's what I was
just
going
the
to
other
say. I feel
side.
like bum bags is
Fair enough.
better than a fanny pack. When I was growing up, fanny pack was the word that we found funny. You got a little fanny pack?
You know what it means, right? In British English?
What fanny means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We come
Okay,
from
okay.
British English. It means the same thing
Right,
here as well.
right. Because Sophie was like, so we thought it was funny.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense now. She said it so happily, so lightly.
I don't know why we call them bum bags, because they do sit on your front. It is odd.
It's kind of the point.
To be fair, I'm not a fan of either word. In fact, I don't use those particular accessories because I can't bring myself to go, all right, I'm leaving the house. I'm going to get my shoes on, going to put my jacket on. Where's my bum bag?
Gotta put my phone in there, keep my things safe.
I never used to carry one either, but now I've got like a tiny one that you can actually slip underneath your clothes for if I go running, where you can just fit maybe just
Yes.
your phone.
I used to
and maybe
have
like a
one
set of
that was
keys.
specifically designed to hold
Yeah,
your phone
exactly.
in it. Yeah, that's not a bum bag. That's a high-tech exercise device.
Call it what you want, Liam. It's a bum bag.
Manu, you've disappeared.
I have. So I'm not sure if you saw it. I posted it for a short moment yesterday on Twitter, but then decided to delete it.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough, Manu.
I bore witness. It wasn't. That's what I thought. That's why I got
That's
rid
why
of
you
it.
got rid of it, yeah. Understandable.
That's how I felt.
I didn't see it.
I bore witness to like a true like anime moment. I felt personally, because it's like I filmed this, so we can just use this blatantly in the video. So Red, our producer, can just put this into the video. But I'll send it to you on Twitter though. So basically, for a little bit of background, it was like a good warm summer night at like a park. Like we went there after like dinner out in Tokyo. And so this guy was just like everyone was just chilling there, and this guy was trying to do like flips with his skateboard over like a hurdle. Do you get it?
I'm watching
Yeah,
it now.
just watching it now.
And so at some point he had like this real like anime character like breakdown moment.
What is happening?
I'm confused as to what's happening right now. Is he
Is he just trying to
oh,
break
I
this?
see. Oh, this is. Oh no, this is upsetting.
It's not even like hardcore rage. It's very calculated. All right, you
Yeah.
are the cause of my life's worries. I am going to
Yes.
destroy you
Oh,
in a very
But he's failing so hard
efficient
at the
way.
beginning. He's struggling so hard to break it at the beginning.
oh man,
I mean, he got there, to his credit.
he did.
And then the best part was the second video I just sent, where he then organized the skateboards so he could snap a photo of how edgy he was.
Oh my god.
And I felt like that was like the whole anime character arc there. It's like, I want to be the world's best skateboarder. And it's like, oh, no, that's the moment. That's like the low point of his character arc where he's like, oh, this is not for me. And I'm breaking my
Yeah.
skateboard. But then he meets like the
I'm gonna
master
become an
who inspires
influencer
him.
instead.
Gonna find that one person who sparks his passion for skateboarding again. And that's how he became the best skateboarder in all of Japan.
Some wizened old mentor here.
He's gonna have like a training arc.
Like just the Japanese equivalent of old Tony Hawk walks in, goes, Shonen!
There were like so many people sitting around also, and everyone was kind of like, what the
What's
hell's happening?
happening? Can you imagine if he actually has a completely different story though? Like imagine if he's just doing this for like an art project, you know, or it's just doing
It's a YouTube
something quite
video.
legitimate.
And he
people
was
are
Actually,
filming
we were
you.
being filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a question for you, Manu, because I imagine in Japan, everyone's pretty much an anime fan Well, it's just cartoons. So, there's not going to be many people who don't know anime. Whereas in Australia, that's not the case. So do you get excited, or does it mean anything to you when you find like a fellow One Piece fan? Or is it just like, yeah, everyone likes One Piece?
Everyone at least knows One Piece.
Yeah.
Even people who are not watching One Piece actively or following it actively, like everyone knows what it's roughly about. Everyone can sing the first opening in karaoke.
I imagine it's hard to avoid when it's all over like basic coffee.
Also, it's not only coffee, like it's really weird. One Piece
everything.
is and always has been, especially on like lotteries for some reason, which I found always a bit dubious as a marketing. Like it's like Chopper on
Live
pay
your
us money,
dreams.
like on gambling. I'm like that always like rubs me a bit the wrong way.
Money brings you happiness.
But otherwise, yeah, it's everywhere here. I think it's really interesting because, for example, like maybe in the US or in Australia or maybe also in Europe, like I guess you're like there's like the nerd vibe or like the weeb like tag is already put on you or was put on you if you liked anime in general. Here it's more like everyone, like anime is in all the advertisement and stuff. Like companies just produce like these tiny anime clips. It's such part of the culture. Like you have to be obsessed with it and like, be like, I've watched all of it and have the figurines and this and that. Then you rise to like otaku level. But you can be otaku like nerd about everything. Like you can be a car otaku or, anything, camera, One Piece, whatever. But it's just like being super obsessed with something.
Yeah, whereas in Australia, it's like, you watched One Piece one time, you otaku.
Yeah.
You
Are a
nerd, you
weenie.
fucking nerd.
To the point that when I walk around and I see someone wear a One Piece shirt, I legitimately lose my shit. I don't know how to respond.
You made a skit about this, didn't you?
I did make a skit because it's actually like based on real life story. This has happened twice in my life. The first time I saw someone wear a One Piece shirt and I just froze. I was like, should I make friends? Like, should I say hi? Should I say
make a
I really
friend?
like your shirt? Should I tell them how much I love One Piece? And then the moment passed and I was like, no, don't be weird, Soph. And I just kept walking. The second time, Red, our producer and I, we were walking and we saw a guy who has a One Piece shirt, which was the same exact shirt that I own. I wasn't wearing it at the time, but I think I was just in a good mood and we were talking, we were laughing about something, and then I saw him and Red and I both froze and we sort of like, oh, One Piece, and like pointed at his shirt because we both just got so excited.
Been
And the
terrifying.
guy just
Very
the guy
nice.
freaked out and just like scudded away. He was like, what the hell? And ran away from us. But I get so excited whenever I see anything One Piece related. I remember when I was living by myself, I remember someone's van had like a One Piece drink bottle, and I had parked my car, was walking out and saw that, and I was like, should I stake out? Like, see who it is in my
Should I
apartment that also
stalk
likes
this
One Piece?
person? Yeah.
I just get so excited.
That's getting a little beyond creepy. I have
Yeah.
one story about a One Piece clothing-based interaction. I used to have a black Trafalgar Law hoodie that I would wear to theatre jobs and such, and I was on a particularly big show, so big that they had to bring in some extra crew, so we had a lot of German exchange crew, basically, who are on like a temporary working visa in Australia. They didn't speak English particularly well. It was really hard to speak to them.
Hello, Chris Scott. We are here for organizing a stage.
Was it you? They were really good at what they did. There was a language barrier.
It was not
Luckily-
speaking English.
Luckily, in theatre, you don't need that because, you always understand what to do on stage. Plug in the fucking light. It basically boils down to that. But I was wearing the law hoodie one day. One of the guys was on the catwalk and he just yelled down at me in this thick German accent, "One Piece!" Because I was being yelled at, I didn't quite realize what was happening. So I just sort of looked up and he was beaming down at me with this big Luffy smile, just going, "Here?" And he said it again and I was just like, "Yeah, One Piece." And that was my interaction.
Why am I feeling so embarrassed about it?
Basically, like, I was that guy and you were the guy, like,
Yeah.
running away. Like,
Exactly.
what is this? Why can't I just wear shirts in peace? Whereas from the other way around, we're just extremely elated. Like, new One Piece friend. I want to discuss One Piece.
Friend.
Das ist ein Friend.
Actually, now that you mention it, I have a really cool, I actually have it in storage because it's a piece of winter clothing, but I have a really, really nice Crollo Lucifer black hoodie that I really like.
Do you have any pictures of it?
Let me see.
In the meantime, I have a sort of faux DoFLIAMgo jacket.
Ooh, nice. Me likey.
Well, also in the meantime, when my mum found out that I was making videos on YouTube about One Piece, she didn't know what it was, so she searched it up and she decided to get something for my birthday present. But she was like, but my mum, if you know her as a person, she's not someone who's like into dark stuff. Like she's a very happy, bright person, and for her, just the idea that I'm so into a series about pirates, she's like, there's a skull, like everything's marked with skulls. And so she's like, it's a cute skull, but I didn't want to get you something so dark. So she found the one shirt that has a white shirt with a straw hat on it. And she's like, yeah, I wanted you to have something bright and happy. I didn't want to get you something skull related.
That is cute.
Oh,
so
nice,
cute.
Liam.
Ooh, I like the outfit. Dude, you look like a living and breathing meme right now. I want to say that. This is going on Twitter right now.
So I got this specifically for the Dressrosa video I made. But Sophie, going back to your story, my mother is quite similar because she's incredibly religious. And so growing up, if I had something that contained a weapon or like an allusion to death or anything even vaguely sexual, my mother was like, oh no. Like, why can't you just have something nice instead of that skull, a smiley face? Why can't we do that? You know, instead of that gun, maybe a lollipop. She would have done very well as part of like the 4Kids staff.
Funimation.
I have a good tweet for this picture now.
We'll see how many typos he makes.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Ends up being like, DoFLIAMgo.
Stop Flamingo.
Liam the DoFLIAMgo.
Liam.
No, the tweet is going to be the following. Protagonist. The villain could be anyone. The villain.
It's a very good question. Of the three of us, who is the most protagonist? Because I don't think it's me. And that's not just because I'm currently dressed.
Liam, you definitely have villain energy.
A lurking villain.
Liam's definitely got the villain vibe.
Okay, the tweet is up. I should have probably tagged you. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna tag yourself. Dude, this is my absolute favorite thing. I think, why are you not doing every video in that costume?
Yes.
You would get to 1 million subs so fast. I swear.
I mean, I do wear it whenever I have an excuse. If I'm doing a video that's featuring DoFLIAMgo, I do whip it out. But, yeah.
I wanna insist that you wear that until you hit 1 million subs. You'd hit it so fast.
Oh my god, it would be so hot to record. This is actually like pretty thick
Oh,
material.
it looks pretty warm.
And yeah, it would be a nightmare. Because I have to turn my air conditioning off when I'm recording. So it would just be a mess. Big sweat mess.
It is quite the fashion statement.
It is. He's quite bold.
The good thing about at least the aircons I have, it's like it has a silent mode, which is very good.
Japan, the height of technology.
Dude, it's technical supremacy.
I suppose it's worth innovating because your places are like so small, so the big bulky like would be really bad. I imagine you also need less powerful units because you've got like less space to cool.
Yeah, smaller spaces.
I sound so privileged, mate. Yeah, you need the silent air conditioners because you don't have the grand estate that I do to cool. I need the industrial air conditioners.
So your silent air conditioner is actually just compensating for what terrible living conditions you're in. Here in Australia, we're actually superior. We don't need that sort of technology. I have to say, the first time when I went to Uniqlo after they had, I assume, updated the stores to basically what sort of technology you guys have in Japan, I was honestly mind blown. You don't even need to scan the barcodes. You can just dump all your crap on that little, I don't know, on the stand, and then it just calculates what you've got for you.
So they do that at Decathlon as well. It's really cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it was...
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
You
was-
just dump it on and it instantly just knows what you have. It's amazing.
My life's mission is to get sponsored by Uniqlo just so that I can get their free anime shirts.
Ooh.
And the number of
smart
times
move.
I get asked from people like, oh, where'd you buy your shirt from? And like 90% it'll always be from Uniqlo. I'm like, they should just sponsor me already. I'm like, I'm giving you guys free marketing. It's one of like my life biggest missions. I want to get sponsored just so I can buy. You don't even need to pay me. Just pay me in free anime clothing.
I like that. We're gonna make that work for you.
Thank you.
I'm so intimidated by Liam now that he's wearing his outfit.
As it should be.
Doesn't help. You can't read his face.
Well,
because of
it
his
suits
eyes.
you so well. Why does
It
it,
really
suit you
does.
as well as it does? It shouldn't look this good.
I think DoFLIAMgo style suits anyone because it's so bold that it just instantly transforms. You should both get DoFLIAMgo glasses and jackets as well, and we should do like a 3 flamingo affair. Also, we never answered the question. Out of the two of you, which is more the protagonist and which is like the secondary protagonist, the side character, the best friend?
I feel like I'd be a sidekick. I feel like I'm more of a plucky sidekick.
I feel like I'd be like the very boring, generic shonen character.
Oh, I
sadly.
agree, yeah. You'd be like the Kirito of the podcast. Sophie would be the interesting side character, and I would be the overly designed villain.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be like a Kirito. I would just be like this annoying character that shouts at everyone for no particular reason. Who's like overly motivated.
Oh, so you'd be the Asta.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, Asta, yeah. Or like Hinata from Haikyuu or something.
Manu is the Asta. Sophie is the Noel in that situation.
DoFLIAMgo glasses. Ooh,
Should
they're
we all buy a
expensive.
pair?
Oh, they're legit sunglasses.
Oh, they absolutely are. They come in like a funky box and everything that says DoFLIAMgo on it. I don't know if you can see
They're
it.
so expensive.
Yeah. They make cosplayers' life so much easier.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I am not one, but like if you can just buy these amazing glasses and all of a sudden it's like, you know, a centerpiece of a great costume,
Okay, I'll get one.
do it.
All right,
for you
well,
next time,
Manu,
so we
if
can
you're
do it
getting One,
together.
then I'm gonna get one too.
Excellent.
It's a business expense.
Oh, I claimed it, yeah. Speaking of, I just did my tax because it's the end of the financial year. Fuck, I hate doing
Oh, you guys
tax.
are very fast.
Dude, tax
Yeah.
is the fucking worst.
I need to be on top of it. I don't know how it is for you, Sophie, with your like 10 different jobs, but I need to pay tax quarterly because I'm a sole trader entity that makes over a certain amount.
Quarterly.
So I need to pay tax every 3 months, essentially. I need to report to the government, and then I need to file the return at the end of the year.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
I mean, at the very least, it means that I really keep track of my finances, because it used to be I'd get to the end of the year and go, oh, crap, where are my receipts from, like, July in last year or something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think quarterly actually makes life easier.
It makes
And then
life
it's also
more
not a lot.
organized,
It's not a
forcibly
hefty sum
more
that you
organized.
have to pay.
In theory, I don't pay any tax, because I've already paid it all.
You mean quarterly, like throughout the year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a year has 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So I've paid tax 4 times. I need to file the return for admin reasons. Might even get money back. Who knows?
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
I like that Amazon is suggesting to me colored contact lenses, which I've never tried before. Actually, fun fact, like I don't have perfect eyesight, but it's not bad enough that I need like glasses. But like I did like my ophthalmologist, he wanted to make me custom contact lenses and I couldn't put them in my eyes. Like my eyes are like, apparently that's a thing where sometimes they're so sensitive, you just blink it out automatically every single time.
Really?
So I could probably not pull that off.
I've never tried. I have this irrational fear of, well, maybe it is rational because it sounds like a bad idea, of sticking things in my eyes.
Me too. Me too. I can't stand it. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it. It's just like the idea. Like it's not so much putting it in my eye. It's the part of taking it out that really weirds me out. Because you sort of have to like pinch it out, don't you?
Like, blop.
Yeah. To be fair, that it's because when I was young, I've had a few accidents where I've like gotten cuts like very close to my eye where I could have gone blind. So and my sister had to have like surgery as well because she had an accident where she had to where she got cut on her eye. So I think that's where my fear comes from, to be fair.
Too bad, it would have been cooler if it was like the
Like down.
Zorro scar.
Yeah, vertical.
Or
I wanna
even
just-
Shanks with a triple.
I just want to share this one review, 2 stars for this DoFLIAMgo glass on Japanese Amazon, which is like, it looks cool, 2 stars. If you look at it from the inside of the lens, it's completely cloudy and you can't see anything. It's good if it's an art object, though.
I can see perfectly. In fact, I think the problem is that it's not cloudy enough because you can look through them and see my eyes. They're not like that reflective. Like on camera, you can definitely see it.
I like those ones. They had a golden frame, but I'll get the prime ones with the good.
Get the real ones. Yeah.
Did you get yours off Amazon, Liam? Am I looking at the right one?
I think I did.
Okay, well, actually, the box looks very similar. I think this must be the right
Yeah.
one.
It's got Don Quixote DoFLIAMgo like engraved onto it.
Is that like the
very cool.
entire cosplay?
No, it's
I'm just getting the
sunnies.
glasses.
I'm just getting the sunnies.
Oh, get
Yeah,
a
they
jacket
look
as
cool.
well. Get a jacket as well. Anyway, we've got like 40 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Well, bye. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, great.
Become a member if you want to support us.
Maybe in due course we'll all be flamingos one day.
Yeah.
Other
Free
than that,
flamingos.
Out of nowhere.
bye.
Bye.